Good morning and happy Sabbath, everyone. My name is Karen Brown, Health Ministries leader here at Bladensburg, Seventh-day Adventist Church, and I want to talk to you about this month. This month has to do with men's health. So we're going to be talking about prostate. Protect your prostate. It's not actually as difficult as you think, but we have to just be aware. Okay, so it is a common issue among black men. 41% of black men are likely to be diagnosed with a prostate problem. And so what is a prostate? It's a gland in the male reproductive system located just below the bladder. And when it becomes inflamed, for many different reasons, bacterial reasons, which is an infection, could be an infection, the inflammation of the prostate, prostatitis, benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, and then there's prostate cancer. We're going to cover prostate cancer next week, okay? So, prostatitis is prostate, and then isis, of course, ISIS, when you pronounce it right, together, it's the inflammation of the prostate characterized by burning and pain, difficulty urinating or emptying your bladder, frequency, chills, and fever. The chills and fever is what makes it a bacteria, and then there are issues with that. So, the risk factors, men under the age of 50 who may be exposed to E. coli, ESBL, Pseudomonas, and other bacteria, as well as sexual transmitted infections, STIs, okay? How do you prevent it? Drink a lot of water. Drink a lot of water, because toxins leave your body when you drink water. If you don't drink enough, the toxins stay in and become a problem. And the other thing is to change behaviors, okay? All right, BPH, benign prostate hyperplasia, is the enlargement that is not caused by cancer. We're going to cover the cancer part next Sabbath, okay? So look at the normal prostate. Everything's kind of small. It should be like a walnut size or size of a golf ball. But if it becomes enlarged, it starts squeezing on the urethra. It squeezes on all the channels going in. So the urine should be leaving the bladder easily, and it's not. It's actually squeezing the urethra, causing issues of urinary retention, and so people go on medication for that so that the retention no longer is an issue, okay? So as we think about that, we think about the fact that as it becomes backed up, other issues can happen. You can get a UTI. You can get issues with your urine retention, causing infection, and then you can have issues with your kidneys, okay? So what are the issues going on with the prostate? What are the issues going on with the prostate? Anabolic, it could be anabolic or catabolic. So there are two things that are maybe going on with the prostate when you have BPH. And that is, there's an anabolic buildup of some of these different hormones, okay? And so anabolic involves the buildup and repair of different aspects in your body, causing a proliferation or growth of the tissue. So these are the things that are involved. And if they're off balance in any way, it can cause the prostate to grow. It shouldn't be growing, okay? Just to make you aware. Okay, so catabolic involves the breaking down into smaller units. So when you eat your food, you're either going for catabolic or anabolic. And so when you have catabolic, things are breaking down, making sure they become smaller so they can give you energy and your body can use them. However, when they are not. And they are actually growing. The foods that you're eating, amino acids, fatty acids, and carbohydrates can either go towards building or destroying. So let me have you know that everything that you eat has an effect on whether it's going to allow your tissue to grow or your tissue to break down. Okay? So when it's growing, it causes problems. And this is where we can be aware. Anabolic processes make tissue. So when you're eating a lot of these foods, the likelihood of having an enlarged prostate is very strong. One being milk products. They have many of the anabolic hormones. Okay? Testosterone. I'll go back for just a second. Testosterone, human growth hormone, insulin like IGF-1, insulin, estrogen, and prolactin. Okay? And that exists somewhat in milk. It also exists in processed foods, high carbohydrate foods. Okay? It also, the fact that you have sugar, also another thing that is affected. When you have high carbohydrate foods, foods that are highly processed, white flour, white sugar, and white rice, potatoes without the skin, okay? You've taken all the nutrients off. When you take the skin off, then you become likely to have an insulin issue, which also creates more growth, okay? So you want to avoid growth. Definitely want to avoid growth of the prostate. So the third thing is that you want to be aware of are estrogen mimicking foods and products, okay? That has a huge effect on your prostate, gentlemen. So the more processed foods you eat, the more sugary snacks you eat, the more red meat you eat, the more dairy products you eat, the more soy products you eat, the more highly sugary fruit you eat. More excess caffeine you have create this problem of estrogen mimicking foods because they put a lot of chemicals on these foods so that your body, so that we can have them available, but they put them on the foods because it's easy, okay? A lot of the chemicals, a lot of processed chemicals are on our foods, okay? Creating a problem with our men, okay? So it's really important that we look at estrogen mimicking products, and they may also end up being cleaning products, pesticides, air fresheners, laundry detergent, okay? So we just have to be aware. And in being aware, we can make changes. So it's not as difficult as you think. We just have to make those changes. So eat more whole foods is the bottom line. Be less exposed to chemicals is the bottom line, okay? That's how we can prevent prostate issues. And we'll be talking about cancer next week, okay? But just be aware that everything around us is either mimicking these hormones, causing problems with our prostate, and we are as men in our congregation and outside ending up with prostate issues. Okay, so for those who are not aware, next week, the 29th, we have our health fair and expo. It's going to be at Wellspring Manor and Spa. It is just not far from here, maybe about 5 miles or so. And see, there's some of our exhibitors who are going to be there. And we are also going to be presenting information about trust more, stress less, refreshing rest, sunshine, nutrition, exercise, water, living temperately, investing time in others, fresh air, and educating yourself, okay? This is something that's never been done before, ever. A health fair that is It is going to be focused on prevention and going to be targeted towards people who have never heard this before. So I want to invite you to be there from 2 to 5. It is absolutely free. Free. No excuse not to be there. Bring your water, be prepared to stay, and you will be educated, enlightened, empowered to live a better life. And I'm also inviting you to be on our prayer line from 6 a.m. to 6:30. We are praying every day without fail, every day. We do not miss a day. We have not missed a day since what, February or March? January. And we keep on praying because prayer is the power. It's the breath of the soul. It is our power, our superpower, if you will. God has given us this beautiful gift of communication with him, and it allows us to be empowered to conquer the day. So I invite you every day. Amen. Thank you.